Syria by Alex Lippman
and J. Van Alexander. Syria is a country with about 22.5 million people, and it's landlocked in the Middle East between Israel, Turkey, Iraq, Lebanon, and Jordan.
74% of Syria's population is Sunni Muslim.
Recently, however, there have been some disputes in this landlocked country over President Bashar al-Assad. Al-Assad has been accused of mindlessly killing innocent Syrian citizens, like this man seen here.
When asked, al-Assad said that he did not kill the people, and that it was the army who did so, although he is the one in command of the army. Al-Assad has said that he does not feel guilty for the deaths of these civilians, because he claims he did not order the attacks on these people.
Do you feel guilty?
I did my best to protect the people, so you cannot feel guilty when you do your best. You feel sorry for the life that has been lost, but you don't feel guilty when you don't kill people.
These attacks started in Dera, Syria in March because 14 school children were arrested and tortured for chanting the Syrian protester slogan, "The people want the downfall of the regime." The arrest and torture of these children are what angered the Syrian people, and thus the Syrian unrest was created. After this, protesters marched through the city to pay tribute to these children, and during this march on March 18th, Syrian government security forces opened up on the marchers. After this, they shot mourners at the marchers' funerals, and the unrest had just begun.
On April 12th, a ceasefire had finally come to the war-torn Syria, and it looked as if there was hope for the country and its people. However, this ceasefire only made Bashar al-Assad stronger because he was able to bring more troops into the bigger cities. After the ceasefire, UN observers were brought into Syria to try to maintain the ceasefire and stop the violence. The men that came in, however, were peacekeepers, not peacemakers, so they couldn't fire at the Syrian army when they would try to attack the rebels. Recently, violence has spilled into the Turkey-Syria border, and Turkey has allowed Syrian refugees to come into their country and live in refugee camps such as the Altın Nozu camp seen here. Shooting has also gone into Turkey and has killed a few Turkish citizens, including a cameraman from Lebanon. If the violence does not cease at the border, it is very probable that Turkey will intervene and further aid the rebels by giving them even more weapons and anti-tank artillery like they have been already. These Syrian civilians are taking buses from Syria to these camps, like the women and children seen here. Syrian children have been able to find joy at these camps with the other Syrian children, and for the first time in a while, Syrian people have been able to walk around knowing that they are protected and safe. Syrian people are tired of being homeless and pushed out of their towns and cities, and they have started to call on the United States to, quote, stop the bloodshed in Syria. Hillary Clinton even gave a speech on how she thinks the future of Syria should go.
The world will not waver. Assad must go, and the Syrian people must be free to choose their own path forward.
The Turkey foreign minister has asked Bashar al-Assad to stop attacks on citizens, but al-Assad has not agreed to this because he feels that he needs to correct the actions of the people. Turkey is allowing Syrian citizens into their country because they feel that they should protect the people whose lives are in danger.
They accuse Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Qatar in particular, of arming the Free Syrian Army. I have to say that I see no evidence of that from the Turkish side. The Turkish government does give shelter to anybody, including Free Syrian Army.
Syrian children and people have lost everything, from their homes to family members. Some children have lost their parents in this massacre. The UN is discussing a topic on whether Bashar al-Assad is a war criminal or not, because the Syrian people view him as a tyrant, and they want him to step down. The Syrian rebels don't have a clear candidate for who they want to rule their country. However, this can be a challenge in the future for them. Bashar al-Assad thinks the Syrian people like him, which is another reason on why he doesn't want to step down.
Now, sir, much of the world regards you as a dictator and a tyrant. What do you say to that?
What's important how the Syrian people look at you, not how you look at yourself. So I don't have to look at myself.
There are no signs of solution to this issue in the near future. Women and children are dying by day and bombing by night. If this conflict does not come to a resolution, there is no doubt that more people will die. We pray for the lives that have been lost, and that the Syrian children and their families may be sustained by grace.